There we go. It's working now. Allah Akbar, Mike. Good morning. I'm still working on this. I turned the camera off temporarily there. I'm trying to see if I can get. I've got one mic working, but the other mic is not working on the camera. Good morning, Interpeas. Hamadullah. Hamadullah. What does Hamadullah mean, Mike? I don't know that. You should be able to hear me because I have the second mic going, but I don't have the other mic going. And I'm trying. We're still working on this. For some reason, I had to restart the entire system to see if I can get it to reboot. Everything seems to be rebooted so far, but except for the one microphone. It's something to do with I/O, with the streaming software. Because when I powered off and then I powered everything back on, it's still telling me on the screen here. Oh, you can't see me. It's still telling me on the screen here that I have to update my I/O software. And I'm trying to figure out which screen, because I'm turning the camera off right now because I'm in between my personal page and the software where I have my actual information. I don't know what the hell the problem is here. Don't have a clue. Amadullah means have a nice day and hello and sendole. Okay. Well, Mike, Hamadullah to you as well. Sounds like how you doing? Well, either way, good morning, everyone. Sorry about the technical issues here. I'll get this thing figured out yet. Just don't know what the hell the issue is. Why do I have to turn everything off and turn it back on? And why now it's asking me to update my I/O software when it should auto update? No. It says the last auto update was at the beginning of the month, so 11 days ago. It was the last time it updated. Technology. What can you do? It either works or it doesn't work, right? Good morning, Teddy Rose. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing? Welcome to Saturday Morning Live. Oh boy. Yes, I'm not going to click on download the update. It'll probably kill the whole thing. All it says is improvement to new features, which are extra camera, presentation, video, storage. Y'all see that when I flash that on the screen? Good morning, Francie. I'm glad my sinus pressure spray worked. I wish mine did. I am a bit congested myself right now. I use Rhino Court Aqua. I have seasonal allergies. Right now, where I live, we have a lot of Russian olive trees. They're a pain in the ass tree. They have big, huge thorns on them. But just before the thorn comes out in the wintertime, they blossom. They have a little bud that opens up, and then the thorn comes through that bud. We just see your handsome face. Oh, thank you, Mike. Does that work for you, Mike? Though, is that what you use? Neosporin. Maria Mantooth. Good morning, Maria. Welcome to this morning's live stream. I am totally off my game. I had a whole slide presentation, everything else ready, but I don't dare try to share screen right now. I don't know if it's going to even work at all. If I click on the other share screen feature. I'm having technical issues across the board, and I've already restarted the system once. Technology, like I said, it either works or it doesn't work. You use several things, Mike? Well, as long as you found something that works for you, though, that's what matters. I tried to probably 3 or 4 different seasonal allergy medications, antihistamines, everything over the years, and nothing really worked for me until my doctor's like, "Well, let's try this," and it actually works for me. But yeah, it sucks, inner peas. You need sinus surgery. Wow, I don't know if I'd want to go that route, but if that's what the doctors are telling you need, you look and sound great. Thank you, Francie. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's what the doctor says. Today is the 12th. The 12th of November. Anybody got big plans for Thanksgiving? Got what, 13 days, right? 24th, 25th. I can never remember which one's which. I have if I don't have the reminders on my the calendar, which is another page which I don't dare to open. I have a lot of problems with keeping track of the days of the month, when holidays are, when holidays aren't, when families' birthdays are, when anniversaries are. So the best thing about Google Calendar is I can import things from my phone and social media into it to remind me when different events are. You love Bullhorn Betty? She certainly keeps the internet interesting. I'll give you that. Holiday threw me off. Yesterday, Friday threw my wife off completely. She was supposed to live stream, and we're sitting there shooting the episode for Taco Podcast. And I just asked her a question during it. I'm like, hey, so when are you live streaming again? And she's like, I'm supposed to live stream. And then she realized it was Friday, and she was supposed to stream like 2 hours previous. Hidden True Crime had the best interview with Heather Daybell. I haven't been following the saga of Lori and Chad all that well. I have reminders, on my calendar to keep up with it, but it just seems like it just drags on forever. They will have part 2 and 3. Hmm. My friend left a scratch ticket on the table here, and of course it's a loser. He didn't even leave me a winning one. Happy Veterans Day, and thank you for your service. Well, thank you, Francie. I appreciate it. And to each and everybody else out there who served in the armed forces or as a frontline defender, either fire department, police department, EMT, in the medical in a hospital. I thank everybody for their service. You do a job that's not thanked enough and not appreciated enough. The Quentin saga, I think it was an accident. Leilani is innocent but freaked out. I don't know. She definitely has some odd behavior. Um, I don't know how I would act if something like that ever happened to my child. But I don't know if she's innocent. I can't draw that conclusion. Not yet. You were in the Navy for a month? Well, a month. Thank you. Thank you for your 1 month of service there, Mike. Did they medically discharge you or something? I had a buddy who lied to get into the service, and then they kicked him out when they caught him. Delaney is young and on drugs. Oh, that's a definite. She's definitely on drugs. She's got quite a checkered history when it comes to involvement with law enforcement and her exes and drugs. Snuggle Time 57. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Snuggle Time. Cool name. Snuggle Time. That's a name. That's a screen name that somebody like my son would pick. Snuggle Time. Entry level separation. I should have stayed, but too young. Well, that's how they get you, Mike. Is they get you when you're young, so you don't know the difference of stay or go. It's the name of your homemade pet beds. Well, that's cool. Are they pet beds for dogs or cats or both? I mean, I guess it could be for both. God knows that the pet beds that we have in our house, those are they're meant for dogs, smaller dogs, but the cats sleep in them most of the time. That's cool. You make homemade pet beds. Both. There you go. The ones we have like the cushioned sides. They're about that, maybe 7 inches in height, like sides go along the side and the back, and then the front it doesn't have a lip, for the bed. No, Francie, I do not. I do not regret ever serving. I've had, me and my friends have talked about it, and I've been asked the question before: if I could do it all over again, would I serve again? No, I would do it again. I have any regrets? No. I don't think I would be here today if it wasn't for it. There were a lot of things that were going on in my life at that time. And to say that I was headed down a path of self destruction would be an understatement. I was trapped in a loveless relationship. I hated my job. I hated everything that I did in my spare time, and I just couldn't get out of it. I was caught in every direction I turned. I just could not find a way out of the situation I was in. And then one day I'm taking a bus to go get a rental car because my car was in the shop. And up popped this guy behind me in a bus stop. And I was just like, what? There was nobody here. The guy just appeared out of thin air. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And he's like, what? And I'm like, let's do it. You got me. I'm here. You're the one. You're the one that I need to talk to. This is what I'm going to do. So I jumped in it. All with everything I had. It's like let's just go. I'd do it again. My cats wouldn't use a pet bed. They lay beside it. Yeah. The truth be told, though, I mean, we bought the pet bed for. Well, we have three of them, but two of them just sit in the laundry room now, and none of the pets are allowed into the laundry room. But we bought them for. We had a series. We had four German shepherds at one time, and two of them were born blind and hard of hearing. So I mean, if they're the birth defects that they're born with. So we bought the beds for those two, but they've all since passed on. You would have stayed in the Navy but quit. You know, I only know two people who ever served in the Air Force, and two people who served in the Navy. Everybody else was either Army, Marine Corps. Kind of weird that way, I guess. But you would have stayed instead of quit. Hindsight's 2020, Mike. You don't have any pets right now? All interpeas. We have 5 cats, 6 cats. If you count my cat, who only comes home every once in a while to eat and to sleep on my porch, we have 6. But I had a dog and a cat. They were your best friends. Maybe someday you'll get another pet, interpeas. Maybe someday. Your cat has gotten fat. Yeah, I understand that one. You got to see it in the morning though. I get up before I even get to my coffee. I got all these kittens just running towards me and meowing, meow 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 meow. Drives you nuts. But they're all waiting for me to feed them. But fat cats. I had a cat. His name was Apollo. There for a while, all the cats, dogs, everything that we had, we named after a Greek mythology, or something similar to that. I rage. I have two dogs, both weigh over 140 pounds. Are they Great Pyrenees? My sister's got two of those problems. Smoke them if you got them. Mike Stevens, you're 156 pounds. Yeah, you don't want to hang out with Irage's dogs. The cat would break into my neighbor's house and eat their cat's food. She got really fat. My cat, Bogey, he's either here in my studio sleeping on a chair 9 times out of 10 when I'm recording, especially if I record during the day. He'll be over there sleeping on there's a green chair that's that way. That's my left to my left. Or we just don't see him for days, but he's either here or he's at the house that's like two houses away, and they have a pet door that goes in and out of their house, and he just walks right in. He's never out in the cold, or being neglected. And he's put on some weight over the years, especially after we got him fixed. How do you pronounce that? R-I? Good morning and welcome to this morning's stream. Sorry that this is a little on the boring side. I can't. I'm having technical difficulties where I can't get the thing to upload. I breed Persian show cats. I have a cattery license since 1981, but I only have 2 young ones now. Never bred them yet. Next year will though. Wow, that's Parisian. I'm gonna look that up. See if I can open that page. Here we go. Parisian. See what that looks like. Ooh boy. They have flat face and long hair. Cute cat. These ones look. The first pictures it brings up on images on Google are white ones, solid white. They look like little snowballs with eyes. Cute cat. Will, did you ever do combat? Yes, Francie, I did. I have a Chinese crested puppy. 2 Piper will be 1 year old on the 24th. I'm not familiar with that breed either. Crested. Complete trash. Chinese crested puppy. She's pretty though. Sorry for missing your comment. I'm trying to scroll back up to it. Bill, what do you think of Billy Joe Quinton, the wild grandmother? Oh, Billy Joe. All right. Let's start off with this to answer your question. Oh, who the hell asked that? Mike Stevens asked it. Okay, let's start off with this, Mike. When it comes to Lanny, Billy Joe, and that entire side of the family, uncles, nieces, A lot of them have a real big problem with alcoholism. It runs rampant through their family. Uh, what do I think of Billy Joe? I think that she had good intentions in what she did by taking Lilani out to the bar that weekend to see if she would, with alcohol, if she would start talking, open up to her about what happened to Quentin. I think she had good intentions, but I don't think that she thought through what the public perception would be of the two of them while the authorities are searching, for her um, presumed dead grandson, what that would look like in the public eye to be partying it up in a bar with the only named prime suspect. I think obviously bad timing and bad taste. Um, them drinking, in the front yard and in the backyard of the home, in public view. Another bad take. But then again, like I said, I mean, alcoholism runs rampant in their family. So you can't exactly tell an alcoholic, oh, just don't do this in public eye. They're going to do it. Mine are black and white, very, very extremely flat face. All life has its beauty. I agree with that, I rage. Will, are you going to have a brunch for people on Thanksgiving like last year? Francie, we have 16 people who are coming to my home for Thanksgiving. I have two 20-pound turkeys right now. And then we're going to make a roast on top of that. All the, the fixings, the sides. I think my sister is bringing like salads, a couple different salads. My mother-in-law is baking pies and bread. She makes it every year from scratch. But there's 16 people who are going to be here Thanksgiving. I have 5 puppies. Good morning, Purple. 2 Yorkies, 2 3/4 and a quarter Chihuahua. Excuse me. She said, "Why did God give me 2 murders on live?" She's definitely made some, it's easy to look at people, through, a different lens. We, how Billy Joel has acted out, how Don Wells, has acted out, and the view of public, perception. I don't know how I would act if something like that happened to me, like my son disappeared or my daughter disappeared. I don't know how I would act in the view of public, perception. It's hard to actually put yourself in that situation until you're actually there. Grief and shock affects people in vastly different ways. You know, I don't know what happened in the Summer Wells case, and I certainly the hell don't know what happened in a Lilani case. I know that Lilani and has definitely made an awful lot of really poor decisions with the individuals that she has decided to spend her life with or portions of her life with, the different men, the baby daddies of both of her kids. Um, I think her ex is probably the best of the two baby daddies, and of the he's the best of the last 6 men that Leilani has been in with since, well, her teenage years. Because I mean, she's only what 22 years old, right? But she's definitely made a lot of bad decisions, and that's hard when you're caught in a situation like that, like she is, where you feel like you can't make a rational decision, like to get out of the relationships, to stop going down the one path. It's really hard to step off those train tracks, and look in a different, or go in a different direction. I mean, hopefully somewhere down the road she's able to, but doesn't look like it. Not right now. I've known people like that. They go to drink to cope with every description in their lives, paying bills, problems at work, family, etc. It's their coping mechanism. Yeah, yeah, that's true. There are people that are like that. Jennifer Hill, good morning. Welcome to this morning's stream. I have my mom. I don't have any children. My husband died suddenly of a heart attack in 2000. He was only 44. I'm sorry about that, Snuggle. Truly sorry about your loss there. Do I like Chinese food? Some. Um, my wife certainly, loves Chinese food, but yeah, to me, I could give it, if I never ate it again, I'd be okay with it. Um, we have a lot of extended family members that are Filipino, so I've eaten an awful lot more of that than I have of Chinese food. And Filipino food has a little bit of Spanish, like keys that are thrown into it. A lot of different cultures have screwed with the Philippines over the years, and they've taken in some of those things and incorporated them into their types of food. So lumpia, yes, lumpia. I'm gonna make chicken adobo tomorrow. Inner peas, you lost your mom. She was 94. My heart goes out to you, sweetheart. Sorry about that. Lumpia. Your kids have all, you lost your mom, your dad 20 years ago. Your kids have all moved out of state. Holidays are my pets now. Richard Allen case also. Why aren't they releasing much information? Maria, right now, most of the information that is known about Richard Matthew Allen, sorry, is under seal. What information is out there right now is a little bit here and there, but there's a reason why they sealed it. Either they have someone else that they're looking at as part of the case, and I don't want to say that. There's a reason why they sealed the affidavit for the warrant and the actual information that they have on him. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, I know that there's not much out there in the public right now about him, and it can be upsetting to a lot of people that there's not. So South Texas, and used to it the cold. Right now, it is a blistery 31 degrees where I am. Can you guys believe my mom is 90 and still works 3 days a week running a senior center? She won't retire. She said it keeps her going. My mother-in-law is in her 70s, and she's retired technically, but she's more active now in retirement than she was when she was working. Grandchildren, will definitely do that. You never thought Alan looked like the bridge guy? Yeah, we will have to see. If he turns out to be the bridge guy or if he's connected to the bridge guy. Will, would love to hear your take on Daryl Brooks' trial. For me, I watched the trial. I felt so much loathing for the man. He's a monster. I rage. My take on Daryl Brooks. Hmm. I don't know what to actually think about, and enough. I don't have enough information to formulate an entire opinion about Daryl Brooks. There are certain circumstances within the case itself that upset me, but definite monster, that's for sure. I often wonder how many more victims are out there, and it doesn't necessarily mean, I mean, when I say victim, it doesn't necessarily mean it's they were homicide. They were either they were victimized in some way. I see you, they. I see you. Good morning and welcome to this morning's stream. The trial was damn crazy, that's for sure. Abby's grandfather looked remarkably like the guy they have as a suspect. Abby, hmm. Well, you want to know who looks an awful lot like the bridge guy? Size, height, weight. I mean, approximate, has the same kind of walking gait. Is the father of Anthony Klein. Look at a picture of him, and side by side with the bridge guy. Now, something that everybody needs to understand is that little video clip that the police released about the bridge guy. That was 7 seconds total of him walking towards the girls, and then that tiny little audio clip of him saying, "Get down the hill." 7 seconds. That is a tiny fraction of the actual audio and video that they shot. The original total length is 45 seconds, and they released 7 seconds of it. Why? They're keeping the rest of that back for some reason. Either there's more evidence on that audio recording or a clear picture of the individual that is on that actual, maybe up close. Maybe, they got a clear picture of the assailant's face, or maybe there's enough audio recording that's clear enough that they can audio match it to an individual. But Anthony Klein's father, though, is a very interesting subject in himself. And while Anthony Klein was actually doing his underscore Anthony shots, catfishing account, and he was living with his dad at the time. His dad had access to all his devices, and even if you read the transcript of the interrogation of him, he said that he didn't send the messages to the girls on the day that they were murdered. And there's a couple other clues throughout the investigation that hints to that somebody else was using that catfishing account besides Anthony Klein. Keegan Klein, sorry. Maybe. And that's something that I've gone down these rabbit holes of investigating and looking at different people, and I'm unable to get an answer right now, but we're still looking into it. Who may have also been involved, and you have to also think it the same way though. Sorry. Um, how did the assailant keep two girls subdued while one's being murdered? Why did the other one run? Did he disable one and then murder the other? Or was there another party, to the entire thing? That's the part that's going to be interesting to find out. Six Sense Amelia, good morning. We both have the days mixed up. I always thought it was the 13th. We're just two older guys. The church guy also looks like the bridge guy. There was a false alibi given to the church vehicle in the car park. That's always bugged me. Hmm. I saw his girlfriend, the catalyst for running people over, telling people they can reach out to her on Instagram. She said she'd respond to everyone, and if they wanted, please donate $5 to her. What do you think about the Parkland shooter getting life instead of death? To answer your question, Mike, I think he deserved the death penalty for what he did. But at the same time, though, when it comes to capital punishment here in America, I think that we often overuse the sentence of capital punishment. For those states that have capital punishment and effectively and actively use capital punishment, now I'm excluding those who have a moratorium on capital punishment, but those states that actively have it and use it, it has never been a deterrent for violent crime. Never been a single case that where a violent criminal has been deterred by capital punishment. Well, I won't commit the murder here in Texas. I'll go over to Arizona and commit it. Never happened. There's not a single capital murder case where they've ever interviewed the person afterwards and they said, and they answered the question, well, I wasn't going to do it here because Texas, they'd have electric bleachers here if they could. No, never been one case. So again, I think we over use capital punishment for crimes, and criminals. Get tough on crime. You know, um, but our society's messed up in so many different ways. So you would think that by now, here in the year 2022, we would be able to logically sit down and say, look, the system's broken. Why don't we fix the system? Now, because along with what I just said, though, I'm looking at it from the perspective of somebody who I had a close friend who was murdered, and I knew the murderer, himself. I didn't know him by well, but I knew him, and he killed our friend. He's now since been released, and obviously, he's not doing a great job, being out here on the streets. But I take everything from the perspective of that. Look, 'cause a lot of people when it happened, they're like, here in this state, they have capital punishment. Would you like to see them seek, the death penalty for him? He was a young, stupid man. It doesn't take away and it doesn't bring my friend back by, an eye for an eye, killing him, for the crime that he committed. So I always have to I look at it from my perspective, looking outward. Okay, my perspective is I had a close friend who was murdered, and this individual is walking free now, or he's going to serve out his 23, 25 years in prison for it, for taking, my friend's life. Is any of that going to bring my friend back? Is it going to make me feel better as an individual? And you can look at a crime and say, well, this person killed that person. They deserve the death penalty. I think if you can prove beyond a preponderance of the evidence in a court of law that someone did something to a child, killed a child, raped a child, harmed a child, in some way that is going to either affect or take the life of that child, I think the death penalty is definitely should come into play on every one of those cases. Josh Duggar, for what he did, and to not only his sisters but the family friends, the molestation, the actual accusation, and proven by his own statements that he did it. I think the death penalty should be on the table for someone like him. I don't think we should slap them on the wrist and say, you get less time than some other crimes. There are people who are serving longer prison sentences in state prison for distribution of marijuana than Josh Duggar will spend in prison for what he did and how he harmed his own family. That's fucked up. Sorry for my language. We kill each other. That's humans. That's human for you. Yeah. Meep meep. Good morning, meep meep. I think there is rehabilitation. I've known, I can't say that I know them today, but I've known people who have been incarcerated for crimes, not murder, but I know people who have been incarcerated who have been rehabilitated, who have, maybe they were young, they were, on a path of self destruction, and they did some awful things, but they were able to eventually, through therapy and other things outside after prison, because the prison system is not about rehabilitation anymore. That's just a false narrative right there. It's about punishment. Lock them up, throw away the key, let them out, watch them reoffend, keep the system moving. It's a revolving door. They don't want them to get better. If we wanted criminals to get better and be rehabilitated, we wouldn't do the things that we do now. That's plain and simple. I rage for life. Prison forever is a terrible life. Anita Butts. Good morning, Anita. How are you doing? I was really disgusted by the behavior of those families during the Cruz sentencing. It was a mob. So horrible. I really do not know. If something like that happened, and it was my son who was killed at a school because of something like what Nicholas Cruz did, I don't know, how I would react. I know I would probably lose my effing mind, right away. The rage that I would feel towards the individual who did it, and you got to find some way to sorry to say it, but you have to let it go. I mean, it's not going to bring your child back, but do we have to allow that individual to live a nice, cushy life behind bars? That's where, things like, what Alex Jones did in denying that Sandy Hook ever happened, that they were crisis actors, is so messed up. And to keep that false narrative going for so long. And obviously, you can see that I don't agree with them. Teal Ocelot. Hello, Honey. Heavy topics today. Yikes. Have a great day, chat. My beautiful wife, Teal Ocelot. Good morning, Will and chat. Hope all is good. Jeanine 252, good morning. And yes, everything here is great. Having some technical difficulty this morning, but fetal alcohol syndrome. They actually said that no one endured what they had to endure in the trial after every family got to hear and see their loved ones blown away. My beautiful wife, FAS does cause frontal lobe issues. That's true. Fetal alcohol syndrome. That's FAS, by the way, everyone. If anybody's going to know about that stuff, that'd be her. Ask her your questions. Samantha Mustard McDowell. Good morning. Hey, honey, if you want travel tips to Ireland, ask Samantha Mustard McDowell. She can tell you all about her homeland of Ireland. No questions. Sup, inner peace. It's a doozy. But we always have a great conversation here on Saturday mornings because we treat each other with respect, and that's number one. We start from that perspective and that understanding that we treat other people the way that we wish to be treated. That kid did not have a chance from day one. Good morning, Lori. I didn't even know she was sick. I'm not kidding. I knew her voice was a little raspy. Tell you how much I pay attention. I'm a terrible husband. I didn't know my wife was sick. I knew my daughter is sick. I know my son's sick, but I didn't know my wife was sick. I just thought her voice was raspy, and I was like, okay, well, maybe she's got something going on, seasonal allergies, like me. I don't know. Well, that's true. I mean, I don't know if I'm a great husband. I'm okay. I mean, you could have done definitely better. I definitely married up. I definitely married up. Coffee. Did you leave my coffee alone? She's gonna drink all my coffee. Good morning, Aunt B. I see you. How's the Daybell case going? It's not. I see you. The Lori and Chad Daybell saga just keeps on going and going and going. Then it stops, and then it going and going, and then stops, and then go. It just takes forever to get anything done in that case. How much time are they facing? It depends on. Well, they could get up to a year is most likely what they're gonna if they would be sentenced underneath and given it for which is kind of messed up. I mean, I would hope that they would do that to more people if they supply the guns that are gun that somebody uses to do a school shooting. They should get punished for it. But then again, how the hell do you make the connection like, oh, he's going to do it? Well, in this situation, obviously they knew it and they decided not to even take him out of school. Someone is making a lot of money. With Heather Daybell. Yeah, that's what I heard. Unless, oh, I think you actually put that earlier. Interviews. Heather Daybell, great interview. I'd be happy with a year. It's long enough to ruin their lives and lose everything they have. Janie, I don't think they're going to lose everything. No, the you know they may lose their house. I mean, that's about it. A large majority of everything else that they own, from what I understand, is already paid for. Financially, wreck them. It's going to set them back. But even if they get a year, I mean, when you put all the prisoners on a list, they'd be the first ones to be kicked out, for overcrowding. So if they sentence them to a year in prison, they probably end up doing 7 months, if that. And they do all that in county jail. They wouldn't go to prison. Do you think the attorney prior will be replaced with an actual death penalty experienced attorney? Well, they have to find somebody. Either here's the major thing with John Pryor. There's no money left to pay him. There isn't. There is no money left. At this point, the longer it drags out, the bill, for his legal counsel doesn't stop just because the case has been put on hold. He's still working. So what they're going to have to do is remove him as a private counsel. And will he then switch over to being paid by the state? He may. Otherwise it's going to delay the case even longer. But they do definitely have to hire and bring in another attorney with death penalty experience because he's never handled anything remotely close to that. I'm just wondering why it's taken so long and they've gone this far, without realizing this man doesn't have the experience and knowledge or anything to defend a death penalty case. I like Pryor. It's day for day. One in prison, 1 year, 6 months served. So should we have evaluate each one on their own? I'm 100% not a fan of the idea of biological essentialism, but we do know some damage comes to the issue we can only begin to understand. He definitely can take second chair. Have a death penalty attorney or that person that they bring in be a second chair, co-counsel. But something's got to happen soon. because there's no money left to pay him. He has a lien against the estate right now to be paid for what legal work he's done to this point, but there isn't any money left. I would think Pryor would want to continue with the trial no matter what. It's the trial that will be the trial of his career. No, that's true. Well, is Lori back in a mental facility or going forward with trial? Lori is still in the county lockup, as far as I know. They do have motions that are coming up where they're questioning her sanity, but at this point, she has been deemed um, sane and able to aid in her own defense as of right now. So he ripped off Chad. Chad hired, they both hired their own defense lawyers. That you needed to this point, they need, if you didn't have to have a death penalty attorney to this point, but once the trial starts, you definitely have to have somebody who has experience in that, who can argue, and mitigate the death penalty, aspects of the case. My son is playing Goat Simulator. Taco. That's our son. Our son's nickname is Taco. That's why we have a podcast that me and my wife do. It's called a Taco Podcast, but it's has nothing to do with tacos. I should do an episode for it though, where it is about tacos. God knows we eat enough tacos around here. Tacos and burritos. Watching my internet thing go. I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing. Enchiladas. I haven't had a good enchilada in a long time, Francie. Will the trial ever start? That's a damn good question. It seems something is always delaying it. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for posting the link there, Interpeas. I appreciate that. I don't like hard shell tacos. Have you ever tried the Taco Bell Dorito hard shell taco? That's pretty good. The Dorito shells. That's good. I would think Pryor would want to continue with the trial. Well, I don't think that when it comes to John Pryor and the trial, I think that this is, he's never going to see a case like this again. It is definitely a once in a lifetime trial. I mean, how many more years do you think he's going to practice in law? Maybe, if he is lucky, another 20 years, if that. I mean, but he's got to retire at some point. But I don't think he'll ever see another trial like this, another case. And you would hope that he wouldn't. Totally off topic. Does anyone else have squirrels that come to their window to be fed? I have no idea how they figured this out, but I have two of them that do. Not me. We've got a lot of cats and a lot of cats in my neighborhood. It's been a long time since I've seen a squirrel in our neighborhood. Pryor will write a book when it's over. Maybe. Maybe. Trying to encourage the local murder of crows into my yard by giving them peanuts. That's my wife, ladies and gentlemen. That's my wife. We don't have enough mouths to feed. Let's encourage more wildlife, more animals to come to my home to be fed. They'll sit next to the squirrels. Tim's on his way in. Okay. They deserve her love. No, they don't. Just stop feeding the world. Just stop. Not everything has to be. She is great. I see you. She's a great woman. I definitely married up, when I married her. No. I will feed all the animals. Feed them all. All the animals. All the animals need love. She told me you're on your way out.
On my way out.
Crystal.
Yeah. She told me she would tell you.
She ratted you out.
Yeah, That's okay.
Do you feed random animals?
No.
Would you encourage crows to come to your front yard?
No.
My wife will. She's been feeding them peanuts, trying to get a murder of crows to come hang out here.
The only reason I would ever feed for crows is to see if I could actually shoot them with a BB gun, probably.
You didn't mean that. She's like, Tim! I see you, says, hi, Tim, my lovely.
Good morning.
No Taco Bell. I live in Texas. Meep, meep. All right. So tell me going.
I don't know. What time you want to go?
I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Probably before 11 or around 11 o'clock.
Well, what time is that tournament starting?
I have no idea. You're the one that wanted to know about the tournament. I have no idea. I would guess 10 o'clock.
Right, but Zena said something about we'd have to go before 11:30,
which makes no sense.
I know. I'm like, why? I don't have a clue.
No, I have no idea. Share. Let me text her. What the hell she's talking about?
Did I trying to pet something? Inner Peace says, Tim, long time no see. Do you and Tim still golf? Yes.
We're going today.
We're going to today. That's what we're talking about. They have a golf tournament that's going on today, and we either have to go before the tournament or after the tournament starts, because they're not going to let us out on the course while the tournament, in the middle of it starting. Because we just be in the way.
Yeah, really. I mean, if there's only 4 teams or 3 teams or whatever,
yeah,
there's not going to be any.
I have no idea what. I just saw the text message this morning. I was like, why 11:30? That's just crazy. Deco Paint and Tea. Long time, friend. How are you? Deco Paint and Tea. Good morning and welcome to the stream. Meat feeds the birds. Yeah, I've got about 1 billion cats that come here and eat every morning. I'm not counting the ones that are in my house. And then I got ones that the ones that have come down on the porch and feed our neighbors. They open up their doors, like the ones that are across the way here. They open up the doors and all their cats run right from my house.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, do they even feed their cats over there? I don't think so, because they're always running over to my house. Hey, what do you got? What you feeding your cat today? Well, your cat doesn't need it.
See ya. See ya. Wow.
Social hub for the cats in the neighborhood. That's for true. That's true. Social hub for the cats and everything, every other wayward animal. Do they live in a van?
Down by the river.
Down by the river. Deco paint and tea. Thanks, Will. Nah, they don't live in a van down by the river. They live everywhere. They all end up here, though, eventually. We all need a break once in a while. That's true. No skunk. Do not encourage her. She will get skunks too. She had a pet skunk once that used to come to our house. She even gave it a name. I don't need that coming back. My wife. Every wayward animal in the world. If she could feed them all, she would. And now, for some reason, she says she can't hear me. You're breaking up. I can't help it. It's the actual stream itself. I'm watching the thing go like this. It's bouncing all over the place. At least it's working right now. I mean, at least I thought it was. My sister-in-law told me the squirrels were unscrewing her Christmas lights. Used to have a mama skunk that would come out at dusk. Her 5 little ones following behind her, who would see my big dogs and come running across 2 yards at us, mean and aggressive. Didn't feed her. My wife, I'm going through a tunnel. I won't be able to hear any non-skunk empowering comments. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up this morning's stream there. I want to thank everybody for stopping by this morning, chatting with me and everybody else. I hope you all have a wonderful day today. Bye.
Bye.